What is this?
We're going to show you regular speed.
Oh no, we've seen this before. It's a good video
followed by the high-speed slow motion footage, and then I'm going to walk you through
this is fucking Pac-Man.
all the steps of what happened.
That's crazy though.
xqcl, 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 xqcl.
So what happens when you have an activation? Well, the blade has a 3-volt current that is running through it all the time. That is measured, which is a sine wave, by the computer inside your saw. When you touch it, you actually lower the amplitude of that sine wave, which then causes a chain reaction that takes place over a fraction of a second. The computer sends a charge of electricity.
Water hits the ground.
Yeah, it's smooth brain.
The computer sends a charge of electricity through a fuse wire, which is holding the spring under tension, which then fires this aluminum, what I like to call a crumple zone break into the blade. And it's designed for like the crumple zones in cars. There are portions that are designed to absorb the
we saw this before.
The impact today. And so your blade, which standard kerf blade weighs about 2 pounds, stops at about 1,000 Gs of force. Now, to compare this would be like flying a fighter pilot into a concrete wall at 1,000 miles per hour. We don't really even have a frame of reference to compare it to something that we could experience, but you can see here from our 5 hot dogs, here's a few shots of them. It stops it so fast.
I still won't put my finger on this.
You know, if that was you, I don't even think that would draw blood. And I actually personally have set off my Sawstop before, and you could see like a little scratch where it scratched my finger, but there certainly was no blood. But one of the things that I always hear when, you know, I see one of these at a convention, at the Sawstop booth, or you see comments in YouTube videos, people say, yeah, but they go so slow with the hot dogs. So what if you went as fast as you could? We decided to try that out by throwing a hot dog into the blade as fast as I could. We calculated through frame rate that I did it about as hard as the average human can punch at full power. So here is the fast motion clip and then the high speed footage, and we'll talk about the damage it did afterwards. Look at this. This is pretty crazy. With all of that speed and inertia, and you know, I followed through into the blade, it only cut that hot dog by 1/8.
It's not bad.
Against my thumb, that wouldn't even come close to hitting bone. At 1/8 of an inch, you're barely getting into the flesh there. You might have a couple stitches, but certainly you'd be back at work as soon as you're able to get your stitches out. And it really wouldn't do any lasting damage. So I was super impressed by that, because I gave that all I had. And what I think that shows is that if you, for some reason, the table saw was on and you tripped and fell directly into your blade, you're going to walk away with just a little cut. Or I think what it really shows is if you had a major kickback, so if you were already past your blade, had a major kickback, and it just ripped your hand through there at full speed, you're going to get a little nick, but your fingers are going to live to fight another day, and that's pretty incredible. But I think where I was really impressed by the
Chat, we've seen this before. Chat, listen. You're guys saying that fingers are harder than hot dogs, but I think the point is it doesn't matter, because by the time you snap on it, it's how many dents went through, and at the speed that these dents go in and how sharp they are, I don't think they give a fuck what the material they're going up against. A finger, a hot dog, a sausage, a bun, it doesn't matter. If it's 4 dents, it's 4 dents, and it's gonna go straight through it, dude. Unless it's fucking, you know, yeah. You know? No, not your dick, man. You guys always go balls, nuts. Guys, it's a fucking taste test for a hot dog. Stop talking about dicks putting your juicer in it, man. Don't put your juicer in a fucking moving saw, man. Nobody does that. That's weird. There's not even, why? This chat, man.